So I believe you've been busy working on a tool for the last week or so. Do you want to give us a demo?
Yeah, I thought we needed something to record spread effectively over time, and also because swap's been a recent conversation point on our membership, I thought I'd record some swap numbers just to show you what we got. So let me share my screen, and then we'll get started from there. So tell me when you can see me. Start sharing. Here we go. Okay, you should be able to see just the chart there.
Yes, the chart's up.
What I'll do before that, I'll go back to a blank chart. So this is the euro pound on a 15-minute time frame. Nothing particularly special about that. But the data collector we're using is an upgrade of the previous one we had, one that you've had as a default for a long time. So I've taken your basic data collector and I've enhanced it slightly. So here is the input screen. You can see here at the beginning where we've got the new data collector name. The name includes a date, so we can keep track of what's going on in terms of date. So it's the year's 21, February the 12th was when it was created. So the inputs are, password is pretty normal, and Rich will tell you about the password when we post it up on forum. The other thing this does is not only give us the spread value and the swap value, it actually has the ability to record to a CSV file. So what you want to do here is you can make a selection on a time frame. What time frame are you looking for? And basically what the data collector is trying to do is it looks at the current swap. Well, let's talk about spread. So it looks at the current spread, but it also tracks the maximum and minimum spread over any particular time frame. So if you're trying to track how the spreads moves in the day, you can collect the daily data, the 1 minute data, the 5 minute data. So in a 5 minute sense, how much is the spread moving around in 5 minutes? It gives us a maximum, minimum that spread value had during that 5 minute bar. It then records that information into a CSV file, into a directory called data, and I've just called this spread swap. You can call it whatever you like. And you can change the directory name as well. So basically that's the inputs you need to make the data collector work. And when you load it up, this is what you'll get. So you can see here, it's data collecting on M5, so it's looking at the M5. It's giving us the spread in points, so the current spread is 1, but over this 5 minute bar, it's been as high as 4 and as low as 0. And similarly, we've got the long swap and the short swap, and you can see they also bounce around. So there's a current swap and maximum minimum for this bar. Yes. And that's effectively all it's doing. But what it is doing in the background, it's recording this information into that CSV file I was telling you about. So rather than sit here and wait for data to be collected, I've ran this the other day, and this is typical of what we can get out of this CSV file. These charts have been put in manually just recently, but the reality is that this data collector, you can see here, it's collecting on a 1 minute basis. Yep. So the current spread, maximum spread, minimum spread, current long position swap, maximum long swap, minimum long swap. And if you plot them out, you can see the spread bounced around over this effectively 129 minutes, and it went from 0 up to a maximum of 4, average probably around about 3, thereabouts.
It's so you can see, bounce, isn't it?
Yeah, so spread's going to bounce around. What I haven't shown is what happens at the rollover on the end of the day, at the beginning of the day. You'll probably see spread bounce out, or when news events come on. So for those interested in seeing how the spread moves in any particular time frame, they can monitor it here. Now, these files can get very large, obviously. So whether you want to track it on a minute-by-minute basis or hour-by-hour or on a daily basis.
What would you recommend there? Because they could get so large. If you kept it on daily and kept it for a period of a fortnight, that should not collect too much data, but it should give you the variance, shouldn't you, from your max to the min?
Yeah, it will do. But whether that's useful to you or not, it depends what you're trying to do. I mean, some of our traders will want to monitor it over a particular time frame because they're looking to see how it affects their particular entry conditions.
Yep.
On our trend following long-term approach, we probably don't care too much about spread.
So if I did it on daily, is it still calculated on the tick by tick basis? So during the course of the day, the highest spread will be recorded at some point during that day on a tick by tick basis, or how does that work?
Yeah, tick by tick.
Gotcha.
So it is chewing up a bit of resources, so you wouldn't want to leave it loaded on too many charts, particularly if you're trying to live trade. But what's more interesting is the variance in the swap. And as we know, MT4 in backtest uses the current swap. So depending on what time of day or what the swap was at the time, you're going to get some differences. And so trying to protract that back into time to see how it might have evolved over time is an interesting little exercise.
I can see how that would happen. The variation in the swap there would be based on the variation in the currency exchange rate with your quoted currency.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So this particular pair is the euro.
Yep.
But my currency pair is the Aussie dollar. My dollar got an Aussie dollar account. So
Yep.
hence I'm seeing swaps vary depending on the euro exchange rate.
Actually, I should test this on say Euro AUD and see if the swap stays constant that way, or if it just changes once a day. I'd be interested to see that.
But we don't, I don't actually know how often the broker changes that. He could be changing that periodically, pardon me, depending on what other influences or liquidity issues he's got. So this will give you an idea of what's happening there. But just in a side note, I've actually just from an interest point of view, I ran this on Bitcoin on a minute-by-minute chart, and I've only plotted out the spread, but have a look at the spread variance. It's just crazy. So good luck trying to trade this one or trying to pick the time when you enter.
What sort of variation are we dealing with there with the max and the min? It's huge.
Yeah, it's from 2,000 all the way up to 11,000. So
goodness me.
Don't know quite how anyone would be able to deal with that. So that's it, Rich. Anything I can, other than that, looking at the chart again, is anything you want to particularly see?
No, great job, Fred. I suppose this is good for people's knowledge base to give them an idea of historical spreads that rather than using the current spread, they should be, for their testing purposes, looking at a conservative range between the max and the min that they test over. You'll never be able to replicate the spread or the swap of the actual backtest, but you can at least apply conservative costings for the spread. Don't know if you can do much with the swap. You're sort of stuck with the current swap of the brokers, aren't you, with the backtest? There's no way of varying that. But I suppose what you could do is incorporate a significant degree of slippage into your assumptions to sort of take up some conservative variation in the movement of your costs.
Yeah, the only problem with that is to gather any useful data, you've probably got to let this run for quite a period of time. So, and even then, which number are you going to put into your backtest to give you some sort of a result? But in any case, it's there for guys to use. And if anyone's got any questions, please ask. If you can think of any enhancements or you want to see something different, let me know and we'll see if we can add it in. So
Fred, just to clarify, for people that want to incorporate it into their backtest template, they should incorporate it into the template called, is it Tester? And then if they want to incorporate it as a template within their live or demo trading chart, it should be recorded as the default template. Is that something they need to know?
Well, that's up to them. I mean, you can add it as an indicator. It is an indicator. Just add it to any chart you like. If you particularly want it on a backtest, you can. But in terms of a backtest, it's pretty useless because the swap is not going to change, and the spread's not going to change. So you're not going to really get much value out of it.
Yep.
In backtest. On a live chart, well, then you can get a bit of an idea of what's going on. But yes, you can set it up as a template, or you can add it in manually whenever you need it.
Gotcha, mate. Mate, good job. Thanks very much for that.
All right, buddy. We might close the shop here and catch everyone some other 60 seconds.
Okay, mate. Have a good night.
Cheers, mate.
See ya. Bye.